about this weather than we do.
That's true.
They got a sense that they can tell. Yeah, it's a bug swatter there. I took the batteries out of it.
An electric one?
Yeah. Sit right there under the...
Oh, I've been wanting to use one of those.
Is that right? I took the battery out. Nothing in there. It works. But you needed good batteries in when you started.
I've been wanting one of those.
Now they don't have enough.
Where'd you get it?
At Harbor Freight.
I seen someone take the guards off on a video, and they were shocking each other with it.
Yeah. They tell you not to touch that in there.
Yeah, it'll shock you. You excited to go to Bob Evans Festival?
I killed, huh?
I'm excited to go to the Bob Evans Festival.
Yeah.
Have you heard from Joseph?
Somebody else drive. You never drive, you know.
Have you heard from Josephine's family?
Oh, I see him once in a while.
What about your cousin? Has he called lately?
David, he never called. Oh, my cousin, he called a lot. You run out of something to watch?
Yeah, we couldn't get the movie to watch, so we was just watching actual TV.
What's it gonna do?
They're watching TV because the DVD player didn't work.
It works. We just couldn't hook it up.
You get a tape that you played.
They said it wasn't hooked up.
Huh?
They're saying it's not hooked up.
Yeah, it's hooked up. But you bring a switch in here and I'll show you what to do. Bring
He means a remote.
remote control.
You said a switch.
Yeah, I said switch.
But no.
Whatever comes in my mind the first.
That sounds like you're going to give her a whipping.
Bring it in here and I'll show you what to do.
Well, Lindsay's watching what
Lindsay's watching something she wants to watch already.
All right.
You can go to the back TV to see for something you want to watch back there.
You'll see on there it's got TV and AV.
Okay.
When you want to watch it DVD, you have to turn it on AV and then put it in there.
Oh, okay.
But that one won't climb over where it stops and it comes on. It plays from there on. It won't go back. You have to put one that's cold out.
Did you get to watch cartoons when you were a kid?
No, it didn't have no such thing for that.
You had no TV?
Oh, no. There wasn't no TV.
Did you have...
1954 TVs come out.
Did you listen to stuff on the radio when you were a kid?
Oh, yeah. And the Grand Ole Opry. That was a big thing then. And then you had Gene Autry, Roy Acuff, and all them on there. Roy Acuff was good now. He's on the Grand Ole Opry. He was in the movie, too. And
Gracie Allen.
Scotty. They were very popular back then. And they had a popular song. Golden Thread and Silver Needles. That's a beautiful song. And Acuff, he played a lot of religious songs. And they were good.
Now, you listen to George Burns and Gracie Allen, right?
Yeah.
I love them.
Yeah, they were good. You know, he lived to be 100 years old.
I still listen to them.
Yeah.
Well, I didn't listen to them back then, but, you know, I listen to them now.
They're good. They were good.
Yeah.
Oh, I like a lot of old people, you know. But so many of them are gone now, you know. I got that one movie here, my goodness.
18 again?
Huh?
18 again?
Oh, 18, yes, good, yeah.
George Burns in it?
Yeah.
Do you watch Westerns?
Yeah.
Do you? What's your favorites?
Well, I had Gene Autry and him back in there. I always liked Gene Autry because,
She pretty?
well, not Gene Autry, but see, who was that? Autry had his radio show. Tex Ritter. He was one of my favorites.
Oh.
But he had a voice of his own. I got one of yours now. But he was a pretty nice looking fella too.
Did you guys like sit around like a family and listen to him?
Yeah, your family sat around and watched him. And Sunday, they would go to them old country churches. And after the service, they had picnic tables around. You'd go out and have a picnic, playing and singing music, you know, for a long time.
After church?
Yeah.
Every Sunday, as long as it was warm?
That's the weather was permitted.
What was it like when you went to school? Is it like it is now? Like, did you have a bus?
It wasn't as messed up as it is now. You didn't have so many people in the rooms as you do now, you know.
So did you go to a one-room school? No, you went to Neal.
No.
It was big.
I went to the school up here. It had different rooms, but each grade had one room, you know.
Did you ride a bus or did you walk?
No, walked.
How far?
Well, we lived on 52nd Street, and I forget what.
23rd?
5 or 6 blocks up, and then 5 or 6 blocks up the other way, 10 blocks or 12 blocks. And you walk with cold, raining, or snow, or what. There wasn't no buses like that.
What kind of house did you live in?
We had a pretty nice house in Vienna. We lived on 52nd Street. And now we had no electric then. Had gas lights. And that run up your wall, lights out, and it fold around. And it had them mantles. Like them cloth ones, you know, you got to watch if you touch them, you bust them, they was on. They made pretty good light. You had kerosene lights. And they're like these we had here now. They made those Aladdin lamps. And they had that little, the boys out, they put out the light. Good light. But originally, you know, they used to have candles and stuff out.
So you lived in town but didn't have electric. You had gas.
You had gas, didn't have electric.
What about for your heat? Did you use gas or did you guys use wood?
We had wood, coal stove.
A coal stove?
Yeah, right, coal wood stove together.
Oh.
Big round one, about that big around.
And you guys cooked on that too?
Yeah. Grandpa, I got tickled him one time. He'd get up in the morning, he had to walk on his knees because he crippled. And he thought the fire was out. And he fixed his stuff, put some wood and stuff in there, and then he poured a little kerosene in. And when he did, it was already hot. And he had, you've never seen it, but he sort of handlebar muscles come out and curled up on the end. Curled them like that. And that burnt the part of them off. He shaved it off, never did raise another one.
Now, he didn't like kids though, right? He's the one that didn't like kids, right?
No, Ray Weaver don't like kids.
Oh, that's right. That's right.
Him and Grandpa like kids. Ray Weaver, he didn't. I think he had a rough childhood coming up, you know. Really did.
But what was your grandma like? Were you like a grandma's boy, a mommy's boy?
She was pretty good. Good cook. And he took pretty good care of her.
Was she strict?
Fairly strict. They're a lot stricter than they are now.
Well, I'm sure. What about your mom? Was your...
never sassed your elders back then.
They don't do it now. My kids don't anyway.
Well, they're showing respect.
Right.
You know, it's not that they couldn't do it.
Right.
They respect you too.
They're
much
good
to do
kids.
that, see. And that's a good thing. But the kids now that cuss their parents out and stuff, you know, and all that gets me when I hear that.
Was your mom strict?
fair, but not too bad. You know, she wasn't bad.
Did she work a lot? Because you said she worked in a sewing factory.
Well, she did then, but back when I was real young, on 56th Street where we lived, old man Chef lived back in there. They got a apartment stuff back in there now. He was a rich man. He was a diamond dealer.
A diamond dealer?
For him.
Oh, she did?
Yeah.
So your mom had good money.
She made fair money back then. Well, not a lot of money, but it was money back then.
Right, right.
A dollar was a dollar back then.
Right.
And you got something for it. And she really liked Mom. But someday something happened. She wanted my mom to lie about something. And she wouldn't do it.
Yeah.
And he really appreciated her after that. But she wouldn't lie for nobody, you know. She just...
Were you popular in school? Were you one of the popular ones in school?
Oh, I don't think so.
You don't think so?
I don't know.
Did you get picked on?
Huh?
Did you get picked on?
No, I was never picked on like that. But he didn't have that much of that. A little bit.
What all classes did you guys have in school? What kind of classes did you guys have in school?
Oh, there were art. Reading, writing, and arithmetic, that was our main thing.
Did you have, like, PE, like gym?
Not at first, and then they did have it. Had something come in later.
What about music? What about music?
Yeah, you had music.
Oh, you did?
Yeah. Not as much as they have now, you'd think.
What about Bible study?
No.
You didn't have that in church or in school?
No, school. We went to church.
Right.
But we used to go to United Methodist Church up in Vienna. That's when I always thought you could really trust a preacher. Of course, I found out later that they're human like everybody else. We all make mistakes, including the preachers. And my stepfather, we went to church. He went to beer joint one time. And this preacher was in there.
Kirsten.
I surprised him. He asked him, "What are you doing in here?" And he said, "Well, don't do as I do. Do as I say do." He was trying to tell you right, but that didn't mean he was doing right.
Right.
But you got to stick back, like when you're trying to raise your kid. You know, you got to treat them with respect. You got to have so much trust with them. But people got the idea that kids won't lie. And that's the biggest lie ever hit. Now, some was pretty good about not lying. But most kids, if it's going to save their hide from getting a whipping,
You're darn right.
they will pay 'em.
My kids lie, and they're really good kids.
I can understand some of that.
Yeah. Did you have mean teachers?
No, most teachers were pretty good. I had one shop teacher who took shop, and I don't know, he gave guys a paddle on the front. He was so big, and he brought that up, he'd raise you off of a something bigger floor. But he wasn't that bad.
Did you go to Parkersburg High School?
No.
Where'd you go? Columbus?
Well, what Columbus up there, Columbus?
Did you guys like live in the city of Columbus or outside of Columbus?
No, lived in the city.
You lived in the big city of Columbus. Was that weird?
Yeah, 515 Stewart Avenue, just off of Parsons. Parsons Avenue's like this.
Yeah.
Drugstore right here on the end. House on the end. The alley and the cutaway, and our house was right there on the alley.
Was that with your dad?
Yeah,
So you moved in with your dad in Columbus.
yeah.
Was it as bad? Like, was it bad then too? Did they have?
No, things were pretty good then. When I first went up there, colored people, they had to go back to the bus. They couldn't stand. White person they'd have to get up and give them a seat, which is not right. You're sitting down. I don't care whether you colored or white. If you want to get up, that's all right. I'll get up and give my seat to other people. And I still do.
Now, did you ever get scrutinized for not being racist?
No, I never was racist. My people...
That's what I mean, but did people not like you because you weren't racist?
Well, some people, they think you're all not right, you know. But, because some people is racist, period. A lot of them changes. I don't care whether you're colored, yellow, or what you are. There's good and bad in all of them. And I was colored. I seen some really bad colored. And you got the white, you got the same thing. But now some of the colored people try to make the white people think they should keep them. Well, they were brought here as slaves on slave ships. American people didn't do it. And foreign countries brought the people over here and sold them for money.
Yeah. It was the Spaniards that started it.
And
Everybody else followed suit.
Abraham Lincoln stopped that.
Yep.
And he didn't gain too much favor from stopping it.
Who was the president when you first voted?
Oh, I don't even remember now.
Like the first person you voted for?
No, I can't remember now, but I wouldn't want to say the first because I voted, but
Who was your favorite president then?
Roosevelt.
Roosevelt? You were around when Roosevelt was president?
Oh, yeah.
So I'm not very good with presidents. To me, I'm thinking he was way back there.
He was in for it. See, that's why they got 4-year or 8-year term limit now.
Yeah.
He won his 4th term in there. He was that well. He was for the working people. See, he committed the Depression. Herbert Hoover was one of the worst ones. He was a Republican too. He come in, started the FPA and put people to work and stuff, you know, they had some money. But it wasn't big money, but it was money.
Mm-hmm.
They made cobblestone roads and stuff back in, made brick. They made toilets. People used to have all outside toilets. And we used to there in Vienna.
At your service station?
Well, no, not service stations. That's before that. But now, right in the city, they had sewers. But if you were 2 blocks from the main center town, you didn't have it. You just come block by block.
You know, I was watching TV the other day and they were talking about, and I've been wanting to ask you about this. They were talking about AIDS when it first came out.
About what?
AIDS.
AIDS.
When it first came out, I guess, everybody was scared.
Yeah.
And didn't know where it was coming from and if it was contagious by sneezing or nobody knew.
Yeah, they thought it was.
But I don't remember that. Apparently that was a little bit before I was born.
Yeah, they come out. There wasn't that much talk about it, but they come out. They blamed it all on gays. Well, I don't think it's all gays. Of course, the gays get in there. Of course, if a person's gay, they're gay, I guess. I think it's a sickness.
So you don't think they're going to go to hell? You don't think they'll go to hell?
Well, like this, that Bible tells you, you do wrong, and you repent. Don't do it no more. You got a chance of being saved.
But the question is, what if they really don't know the difference?
Well, that's what this next deal is going to be when Jesus rules over.
Yeah.
He's going to rule for 1,000 years.
And that's when they can repent.
And that is the years they're going to that'll give them a chance. Even say you had somebody in there that didn't do right. That'll give you a chance in that to put them in the right light, if you can. Some people you'll never put in there.
You believe in gay marriage?
No. I can see gays being out there, but I don't believe in that marriage.
I think they should be allowed to sign paperwork at a courthouse, but I don't think they should go to a church. Like, you know what I mean? If they're living together, they should have the rights as a married couple, but I don't see where they should be allowed to get married in a church. Because, I mean, it's against any religion's, well, most religions' laws anyways.
It's against all of them.
Well, no, they've got new religions out now that are different.
Oh, I know they have, but that doesn't change it.
That's why I say most religions. I got a question for you. Have you ever met anybody famous?
No, not really. Like that Red Burton, you know who he is.
No.
He used to play burlesque shows. And he played in those, what's his name?
Broadway's?
Well, he played nothing but that guy played old God, you know, and stuff like that.
Oh, Moses?
George Burns.
Oh.
He played in the movie with them.
Oh, God, yeah. Oh, really?
Yeah. He's old. I don't know if he's still living or not. George Burns is dead now.
But you met him, the guy you're talking about?
Yeah.
What's his name?
Burton.
Burton?
Yeah.
Where'd you meet him at?
He was like a movie star of that area, you know. But it was live stuff in the movie. They were just jokes. And some of them wasn't bad. Like one I remember he had. That's one guy. Well, I had to shove her 2 blocks from Lieber Lake. He said, no, you mean you had a Chevrolet? He said, no, I mean I had a Chevrolet 2 blocks and Lieber Lake. He said, the carburetor wouldn't carb, the generator wouldn't gin, and all the rigmarole like that. And it was pretty good. It was comedy, you know. They used to have it on in burlesque, but
What was I got another one for you. What was Christmas like when you were a kid?
oh, it was all right.
I don't mean
People didn't have much
presents-wise,
money
but
then.
I'm not saying presents, but what did you guys do?
Well, you put up your Christmas tree.
Uh-huh. Usually, when did you put it up? Like early or?
Well, not too early. You put it up for Christmas. You didn't put it up 2 or 3 months before, like they do now. I think that's carrying it too far.
I do too.
And we would take tinfoil, make the icicles out of it. Take walnuts, put different colored tinfoil around, make it look like balls and stuff. And you strung popcorn on the string. And that's what you put around the stuff. And it looked just good and stuff does anymore, but you'd be surprised what some people will do with that stuff. See, we didn't have no electric back then. We had a radio. And it would set up about that high. It's up top, underneath it's flat. And most of them you had room for a 6-volt battery underneath of them. That's what most of them used, car battery. they played pretty good.
What else would you do for Christmas? Did you get together with the whole family for dinner?
Oh, yeah, you get together for Christmas, you had more. And then you had sleds back in because you had a lot more snow. You'd hook up the horses to the sled and you'd ride round over the farm and stuff, and there was a lot of fun in that back then. But Uncle Guy Stutler, you never seen him. That was my grandpa's brother. That was him and his Wendell Stutler. Went down to 7 Gal Place. And wintertime, I mean, it was cold. And Uncle Guy was always used to the weather. He was in horse and buggies. And then the first cars didn't have no windows in them. They had that icing glass that you could slip once in a while. But they were cold. And so they dressed for the winter. We went down there with him. Yeah, I think it was a 50 model Chevy he had, 52. But last time I ever went any place with him. I went down there. Wendell wanted with him, but he was dealing in used cars. So I went with him. Went down there, and he had his window down. I mean, freezing weather outside. And Wendell and I were freezing to death in there. Turned the heater on. A little bit Uncle Guy went, "Sis, you boys are burning me to death." That's the way he said it, you know. Well, he was freezing us to death. That's the last time I ever took a trip with him. Of course, he lost his license not too long after that.
Did you guys take baths in like clawfoot bathtubs?
Well, now, when I was born, I don't think the house may still be down there. Nobody lived in it for years. Down in Hockenport. We lived in a big house there, and it had a bath in it. But I don't think it was running water. I think he probably put water in it. I don't know. But didn't have that mostly.
What about in Vienna? Did it have a bathtub?
Well, they did later, but not at first. Used to use pans to wash in. Had wash pans.
Uh-huh.
And you'd wash them in.
Did you guys have animals? Did you guys have animals in Vienna?
Yeah.
You did?
Yeah.
Did you have like chickens or?
Yeah, Miss Weaver, they outlawed them after a while. But Miss Weaver kept a cow there on 18th Street for years.
Really?
Yeah. They had no garage there, except, and they kept a cow in there for years. Old Jersey cow. They get real rich milk.
That's what my father-in-law has.
And they don't give a lot of milk, but they give rich milk. There's
Good for butter.
% butter fat.
Yeah.
Holstein Jersey Jersey cows, they give a lot more milk, but no butter content's way down there. My mother-in-law, Miss Weaver, they had that cow and that milk, and they kept it in them round crocks, kept it before it got cool. And she'd make coffee in the morning. You had to have strong coffee to use that pure cream, I'll guarantee you. But it was good. How much we varied it. You know, that's one thing Grace don't realize. They told me before they passed away, said, don't you let Grace teach you out of the house. Now, I got along with her good. She didn't get along good with him. Because she done what she done.
But you let it happen, huh?
Yeah.
You didn't want to fight her.
Well, you know, I didn't stay home, and that's true. Because I couldn't stand that bitching all the time. So I'd go to the movie or something on the weekend. Glad to get out. That's the only peace I had.
Now, your kids probably think otherwise. You know that, right?
Well, I know that. So I can't help that.
Because we all interpret what we see differently.
Huh?
People interpret things they see differently.
Yeah, they do. Yeah, they used to tell me they used to follow me around and stuff, you know. Maybe they did.
Did they say that really?
Oh, yeah.
They did? That's funny.
Grace is one. Oh, I could have probably done better, and she could have too, but I just couldn't put up with that bitching all the time.
But you still love her, or you wouldn't
Oh,
talk,
yeah.
or you wouldn't talk
I think
about her.
a lot of her, you know. But
Now, what was it like when your oldest little girl grew up and left the house? Was that hard?
oh, it is, because that's your baby, you know, to lose up with her. But Becky was always pretty good. Now, I worried about it when they dated, because Becky would just date about anybody, you know. Well, when construction workers come around the plant, they're from far off. You don't know anything about them, you know. And when they date, you do worry a little about them. Boys, you don't worry so much about them because they normally take care of themselves a little better. Becky always done pretty good, though. But Becky, when she was a little boy, she was a stout son of a gun. We were in her baby bed. She'd get over that rail and she'd start shaking. She'd walk the bed clear across the floor. She's riding in a car. She was good sleeping. She wasn't too much about squalling. The minute it stopped, she was awake and looking around. Becky, not Becky, but Deborah, had trouble with her. She'd walk on the end of the bed. She fell off and hit the stove one time. I pretty well took care of her doing that.
Oh.
Then she used to jump on Junior.
Like jump on him, literally?
Yeah. But she was a little bigger than he was. And Junior was a boy, and I kept told her. I said, young lady, one of these days you're going to sprout up and be a lot bigger than you are. And you're going to learn to stay with him. She told me one time, she said, no, Dad, you told me that. But said, I could not see that I was bigger than he was, she told me. And I didn't see how he was going to get any bigger than I was. But she said, I learned. Like Tom. Junior and Tom get into it. Junior was taller than Tom. Tom was taller too. That Tom, his arms were shorter. He'd get mad, he'd jump up over the floor and kicking his feet, swinging his fists at the same time. Junior sit back and laughing at him. But all them girls, Junior, my goodness, them girls coming hanging on the fence around the house.
He was popular with the ladies, huh?
Yeah, they were all after him. And Becky, she'd have her boyfriend, one coming knocking on the front door, and she'd have another going out the back door.
Did Dad date a bunch of girls, or was he not like that?
Not so much, but he did. They were dating them. That one Levani they got over there. He had long legs, put him in the mind of comedies and newspaper and stuff. And since she was trying to catch him one time, we went down over the hill that way, and her legs just looked like olive oil running down over the hill after him. But I don't know, he didn't. I think she was interested in too many guys.
What was one of your favorite of his girlfriends? Did you have any favorites out of his girlfriends when he was younger?
Oh no, he had some. I didn't stick my nose in the business.
Oh, you didn't?
No.
You didn't ever go, I hope he marries that girl, or no?
You see some, but I used to tell Grace, Becky, or not Becky, but Deborah, married that one guy. They separated, and then they went back together, and she said one time, well, if they ever separate again, I'm going to, I told her, I said, you keep your nose out of their business. And you can't run their business. You don't. They get burnt, they have to learn by it. Oh, some people are funny. Oh, you always got favorite people like your relatives. He likes to come around and stuff. But when I was young, people done a lot of that. Nowadays, they don't, you know. Used to go to your aunt and uncle's house or something and stay for 2 or 3 days, you know, go back home. Of course, people when they work anymore can't do that too much. Like that picture of that old man you had, that's Tom Epling. He was tall and slender. And Gerald Epling, the oldest guy, he had a gold tooth. He came up to Mom's a lot. He visited a lot. And, but he had that gold tooth, and every time he smiled, he'd see that gold tooth out. They finally put them way out of people because I guess it poisoned their system or something, that gold.
Hmm.
Nowadays, if you had a gold tooth like that, they'd kill you and yank your tooth out and go sell it.
That's right. I think I'm gonna have to put this stew up and go to bed. I feel like I'm gonna fall asleep.
Well, that's all right. I'm ready to go to bed anyway. I might just put a blanket out and lay there.
Okay, your socks and your shoes.
Hey, but I got that door where it's locked and you can't get into it, so I put that up since Nathan was